What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we just heard from President Joe Biden, and I'm going to be sharing with you the video footage of what it was that he had to say as we're hearing things are going to be getting worse with prices, with the new war that's happening in Ukraine and Russia. And this is your stimulus update, breaking news update, and stimulus check update. Now, take a look, you guys, why Putin's long-feared attack on Ukraine will rock America and the world. And we're hearing that this is going to be increasing prices and inflation and supply chain issues, and the gas pumps specifically. We're going to be having issues, and America and NATO allies have all put new sanctions on Russia. And we've also received warning from Russia that if there's any involvement from any country, they will pay a price severely. Now, let me know your thoughts, you guys. With all of this unfolding, are we going to need more stimulus checks to get through this, as we're hearing things could be getting worse? And in addition to that, we have $800 billion of leftover funds from previous stimulus packages. That's enough for two more $1,400 stimulus checks, a fourth and a fifth. Should we be providing more stimulus provisions, direct assistance to people? Should this be allocated to something else? Also, should we be providing more stimulus packages with provisions to help combat inflation and help Americans get through this? Or will that cause even more inflation, as we've heard from conservatives and moderate Democrats? Let me know your thoughts, you guys. But there is a lot unfolding, and we're hearing that the economy around the world is going to be rocked by what is unfolding. I'm going to share with you the video footage so you can hear it from yourself directly from President Joe Biden, what he's saying, also the sanctions being put in place, and what's going on with war right now. Let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on the latest. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, if you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything going on, don't forget, take a quick second to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps out my channel a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. Share this out if you think it's going to help out other people. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, come join the Ram fam. I'll let you know everything that's unfolding so you're aware of what's taking place. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is hop on Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in, and let's start off with this video footage of what President Joe Biden has to say about gas prices and then the sanctions that he's going to be putting in place.
As we respond, my administration is using the tools, every tool at its disposal, to protect American families and businesses from rising prices at the gas pump. You know, we're taking active steps to bring down the cost, and American oil and gas companies should not exploit this moment to hike their prices to raise profits. You know, in our sanctions package, we specifically designed to allow energy payments to continue. We are closely monitoring energy supplies for any disruption. We've been coordinating with major oil producing and consuming countries toward our common interest to secure global energy supplies. We are actively working with countries around the world to elevate collective release from the strategic petroleum reserves of major energy-consuming countries. And the United States will release additional barrels of oil as conditions warrant. I know this is hard and that Americans are already hurting. I will do everything in my power to limit the pain the American people are feeling at the gas pump. This is critical to me. But this aggression cannot go unanswered. If it did, the consequences for America would be much worse. America stands up to bullies. We stand up for freedom. This is who we are. Let me also repeat the warning I made last week. If Russia pursues cyber attacks against our companies, our critical infrastructure, we are prepared to respond. For months, we've been working closely with the private sector to harden their cyber defenses, sharpen our ability to respond to Russian cyber attacks as well.
So there you have it, you guys. That was President Joe Biden today, saying that we're probably going to be feeling it at the pump, but calling upon gas companies not to use this moment to exploit prices and lift them up. Let me know where you're at. Are you seeing gas prices increasing significantly? I know today here in Houston, Texas, this is the highest that I have seen it. Now, I've only been here about 7 or 8 months, but this is by far the highest that I have seen gas prices, over $3 here. When we first came about 2 years ago, it was actually under $2 a gallon. Back in California, it was like $4. And let me know if you're in California how much it is right now. I can't imagine how high it probably is. Now, in addition to that, we also heard President Joe Biden talk about the sanctions that are going to be put into place right right now due to the Russian attack on Ukraine. And after that, we're going to be hearing a very stern warning from Russian President Vladimir Putin to the world, saying if you get involved, you will pay the price. Let's take a look, you guys.
And at the very moment that the United Nations Security Council was meeting to stand up for Ukraine's sovereignty, to stave off invasion, Putin declared his war. Within moments, missile strikes began to fall on historic cities across Ukraine. Then came the air raids, followed by tanks and troops rolling in. We've been transparent with the world. We've shared declassified evidence about Russia's plans and cyber attacks and false pretexts so that there could be no confusion or cover-up about what Putin was doing. Putin is the aggressor. Putin chose this war, and now he and his country will bear the consequences. Today, I'm authorizing additional strong sanctions and new limitations on what can be exported to Russia. This is going to impose severe cost on the Russian economy, both immediately and over time. We have purposefully designed these sanctions to maximize the long-term impact on Russia and to minimize the impact on the United States and our allies. And I want to be clear, the United States is not doing this alone. For months, we've been building a coalition of partners representing well more than half the global economy. 27 members of the European Union, including France, Germany, Italy, as well as the United Kingdom, Canada, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and many others, to amplify the joint impact of our response. I just spoke with the G7 leaders this morning, and we're in full and total agreement. We will limit Russia's ability to do business in dollars, euros, pounds, and yen to be part of the global economy. We'll limit their ability to do that. We're going to stunt the ability to finance and grow the Russian military. We're going to impose major, and we're going to impair their ability to compete in high-tech 21st century economy. We've already seen the impact of our actions on Russia's currency and the ruble, which early today hit its weakest level ever in history. The Russia stock market plunged today. The Russian government borrowing rate spiked by over 15%. In today's actions, we've now sanctioned Russian banks that together hold around $1 trillion in assets. We've cut off Russia's largest bank, a bank that holds more than 1/3 of Russia's banking assets by itself, cut it off from the U.S. financial system. And today, we're also blocking 4 more major banks. That means every asset they have in America will be frozen. This includes VTB, the second largest bank in Russia, which has $250 billion in assets. As promised, we're also adding the names to the list of Russian elites and their family members that we're sanctioning as well. As I said on Tuesday, these are people who personally gain from the Kremlin's policies, and they should share in the pain. We will keep up this drumbeat of those designations against corrupt billionaires in the days ahead. On Tuesday, we stopped the Russian government from raising money from U.S. or European investors. Now we're going to apply the same restrictions to Russia's largest state-owned enterprises, companies with assets that exceed $1.4 trillion. Some of the most powerful impacts of our actions will come over time as we squeeze Russia's access to finances and technology for strategic sectors of its economy and degrade its industrial capacity for years to come. Between our actions and those of our allies and partners, we estimate that we'll cut off more than half of Russia's high-tech imports. It will strike a blow to their ability to continue to modernize their military. It'll degrade their aerospace industry, including their space program. It'll hurt their ability to build ships, reducing their ability to compete economically. And it will be a major hit to Putin's long-term strategic ambitions. And we're preparing to do more.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And I've heard some people say that sanctions doesn't do a whole lot for helping Ukraine. However, it does kind of slow things down for Russia, as Today, we actually saw that their economy had one of the worst days on record, with their stock market tanking. This is really impacting their economy by these severe sanctions kind of stopping things with Russia. And we're hearing that this is happening across the board with other NATO allies as well. So this is having an impact on them right now, but it's very passive. We're not getting involved in the war, and we've said that we will take a stance only if NATO allies get involved. So right now, this is just between Russia and Ukraine. And we've also heard a warning from Vladimir Putin, who said, do not get involved, because if you do, you will pay the price. Take a look at this news report that came out on this today.
The Russian President Vladimir Putin is calling this a, quote, special military operation to protect Donbass. It is clearly bigger than that. Now, he made a surprise appearance on state television calling for the demilitarization of Ukraine, blaming the government in Kyiv for bloodshed, but said Russian forces are not planning an occupation.
Whoever tries to interfere with us, and even more so to create threats for our country, our people should know that Russia's response will be immediate and will lead you to such consequences that you have never experienced in your history.
Now, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, he went on Facebook again to address the nation. He says he's imposing martial law but urged the country not to panic.
Today, each of you should stay calm. Stay at home if you can. We are working. The army is working. The whole sector of defense and security is working. No panic. We are strong. We are ready for everything. We will win over everybody because we are Ukraine.
That's deliberate communication between NATO and the Russian side to make sure that their planes in the air, the ships on the seas, their ground forces don't get too close to each other, don't misinterpret moves as attacks or acts of war. That, John and Brianna, just highlights the diciness, if you want to call it that, the danger of how when you have this much going on, the danger of escalation is real.
Jim, I can just give people a sense of what you're talking about there. You're talking about NATO membership. There are new U.S. troops that are rotating in to Latvia up here. That, of course, all the way up here in the Baltic region. Yeah. You can see it's right on the border with Russia. Ukraine is obviously all the way down here. Poland, there's U.S. troops here now. Very close proximity, as you say, to Russian troops. Deconfliction is necessary. And one other thing, Jim, I just want to point out where you are. You're over here in Lviv. There have been reports now of explosions just all over the country. This is a large-scale, multi-targeted attack, including, I should note, we're getting reports not far from you. I know you've had air raid sirens there. What does this tell you? Yeah. Just the scale of what has happened over the last few hours.
It tells you that Putin wants to take over Ukraine. It's an independent country. It has sovereign borders. It's democratic. It has twice in a row elected presidents who promised closer relations with the West and more independence, not less, from Russia. Putin doesn't like that message. So he's using force to take it over and extending, the whole extent of the country. When he says peacekeepers in the East because of Nazis, for which he provides no evidence, that's a cover. He's in fact carrying out an invasion of this country and attacking targets across the country that shows that his intention is to own the country, right? And that's the way we should look at this military operation now.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Major breaking news coming out today as we have officially started war with Russia and Ukraine, and this is going to be impacting the economy globally. This is going to have worldwide effects. So we're going to be seeing what unfolds. I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. We will see what the United States is going to need to do to combat some of the issues we're going to be having with gas prices, inflation, supply chain issues. Are we going to be seeing more stimulus? I'll keep you up to date here on the channel. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you have not already, don't forget, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Just takes a second. Helps out my channel a ton. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. Share this out if you think it's going to help out other people. If you want to stay up to date, totally free. I just share the news with you, keep my opinions out of it, just give you straight news. And if you're interested in staying up to date, just hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. You can come join the Ram fam. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of. All you got to do is hop on to Instagram and shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.